Hopefully this is the last video of the electronic side of my new Stargate. Last we're going to be dealing with the monitor, and I'll have to show you what it's doing while it's cold, because as it warms up, it acts a little bit differently. Actually, let's not open that right now. So, during the title screen, you might see some garbage up the top. Right there. You might be wondering what the heck that might be. Is there something wrong with the game boards? No, it's the monitor. So Williams games have a thing where they always draw garbage to the right side of the screen, and they draw garbage up to the top. And right now we got a problem called foldover. Let's open up the coin door and go through test mode here. You'll see these brighter lines up at the top, and they're kind of squiggly looking. What that is, those are, well, that's not a retrace line because you're not seeing it across the whole screen. That's foldover. So as the beam is going back up to the top during vertical blanking, the beam is turning back on before it reaches the top and then starts coming back down while drawing. So you're getting this weird foldover effect where it kind of goes up and around. It's not as bad as it used to be. If you turned up the vertical height more, it would show up even more because, you know, it's not designed to drive the image larger than the tube. But right now, as it is, as this thing heats up, it'll start slowly going away. And actually, I think it's already starting to go away a little bit. Yeah, that's a problem. Not the biggest problem, but it is a problem. You can kind of see how it wigs out depending on the voltage of the screen. Anyway, so it causes some of that garbage from the top to sometimes appear as the game is thinking very hard, because, you know, sometimes it uses a little bit of the screen RAM as scratch RAM. I think it has something to do with choosing the palette or color palette. Alright, like I said in the previous video, these Williams games are pretty handy with their monitorage because it's mounted to a big piece of wood that you can just pull out. So if those two bolts pulled out, you can just grab the handles and gently remove from the cabinet. Alright, that's a fatty. Oh no, here comes the scary part. No! Almost died of fear. Alright, that's not that. Listen here. Oh, I hate these things. Come on. Come on. Get out of there. Ah, you fuck. Not in the yoke. Come on. Sheesh. Alright, so now I can start pulling the chassis out. First thing for this thing's safety, you should do is pull the neck board so you don't accidentally whack it and nick your tube. That's not a very good thing. Also, I'll just take these out real quick. A lot of time you'd just pull the yoke connector off the chassis, but on these things it's easier just to do that because it's in there. And that's a pain in the butt, and it's all zip tied together with all this other shit that you're going to be pulling out with it anyway. Usually the dag ground is just soldered onto the neck board, but I cut it and put a wire nut on it, and that's usually good enough. The flyback is externally mounted, which makes it kind of a turd. You gotta take it off separately. As for the chassis, we'll just get these little expansion cards out of the way. I don't call them expansion cards, actually. They don't really expand feature or functionality. They give basic functionality. They're just removable because I don't know. Because Wells Gardner wanted to have fun. And wanted us to have fun today too. take this one little bolt out. There's another bolt in the back, which makes it a real pain to get to, but most people leave it out. And since this one has never been taken apart before, I took it apart, 2 videos ago. It was still there. It's like back here. Pain in the butt. Alright, so now it should lift up this way. Pull out. Oh, we forgot to disconnect the degauss coil. That's still hooked up to the tube. So this should all come out now. Ugh. That felt like a lot of capacitors to be pulling out of this thing. And then I realized I'm an idiot. No, wait, this even gets better. This is not a 7600, obviously. It's a 4600. I don't know why I keep on getting that confused in my stupid brain. But 7600 is not even remotely what I'm looking for. That's way newer. Man, I'm having a stupid today. Well, I don't want this to be the end of the video for now. I don't want to order another cap kit and wait. I don't want to wait. I'm impatient. This is correct. This is something I bought earlier. This is a 2000 volt, 0.1 microfarad capacitor. That's supposed to replace this one right here. This is a filter cap for G2 voltage, and that's pretty high voltage. So we got this for this. This is separate from the cap kit. This should be included with the cap kit, really. But anyway, I'm gonna organize this shit. I have all these spare capacitors from a previous monitor adventure. I bought a whole bunch of extra ones just to have some in stock, and then I'll pull some from all this. Hopefully I can find enough of the right capacitors for this job. Well, that's the end of that shit for now, I guess. I gotta go order another cap kit or something like that. I got everything I need, except for 2 of these 1000 microfarad 35 volt and the bipolar capacitor that sits here. So, dang it. I don't want to have this thing sitting apart for a week as I wait for parts. So, I'm going to do one capacitor at least, the one that I think was arcing in that last video. Yeah, it might actually be a capacitor that was causing the arcing. I'm not going to take the horizontal width coil off this time because that's a giant pain in the ass, and I don't think I need to get into there. One thing up now. So it's this capacitor right here. It's going to get replaced with this. I do believe the long leg is positive. All right, I don't even care what the polarity is because I went and looked at my centipede, which I have one of these installed, and I saw which direction it's installed on. So I'm just gonna copy that because time for some camera invasion. There's some like Baj wire stuff going on here. It's kind of weird. Yeah. 1500 volts. No PCBs. Well, you're on a PCB, so I guess deal with it. But yeah, apparently these can cause some sparky fun time internally as they dry out. I think this is a paper capacitor, so let's get rid of that and put this dude in. Oh, I barely fit in the hole. Well, just for some, we're gonna see if it blows up after I put it back in here. After I change that single capacitor for now. This video will be continued at a later date, but we'll see if it explodes first. hell? Okay. Alright, let's see if it blows up. Where's my interlock? Huh? Really? You know, I shouldn't have left. Fuck. Alright, did I not catch that at all? This thing fucking just smoked, okay? Fucking bullshit. Everything hooked up. Wonder what, did it blow the fuse of my cabinet? My cabinet main fuse? Is that what happened? Is that why the power went out? Alright, fucker. Fucking shit. Damn it. Well, did it blow the main fuse? You bet your ass it fucking did. Holy shit. 3 amps on the line voltage. What smoked? There's something that smoked on this board. It's not like I even did anything to it. I just took it apart and plugged it back in. That thing was smoking good. Was it that resistor there with the ceramic thing around it? Whatever smoked is bound to be hot still. It's not the capacitor I replaced. So I thought I was going to be done for the day, but of course it started eating at me, so I came back here to look it over one more time, and I realized that I'm a fucking retard. So these wires right here are for the yoke. I plugged red into red, I plugged yellow into yellow, I plugged blue into green, and I plugged green into blue. And, well, those are the return side of the power going to the yoke, so, well, I guess you can't really say that because vertical scans both directions. I don't know. But anyway, I smoked probably, I don't see any damage on the deflection board, I don't see any damage on the transistors for the Y amplifier. I don't see any blown transistors anywhere else. Like with that much power, I blew a 3 amp fuse, so if it murdered a transistor, you'd probably see it. It'd probably have exploded. I don't know if this fuse is good anymore. That's a pain in the butt to change because that's a soldered in doohickey. That's a pain in the butt. Thank you, Wells Gardner. But anyway, I'm going to put this back together, and I replaced the fuse at the bottom of the cabinet, because that one definitely did blow. And hopefully this thing is still alive. Worst case scenario, well, the yoke is still good. Yoke still tests good. Worst case scenario is that I fried a secondary on the flyback for the vertical amp voltages, 30 volts. If I did that, then this thing's kind of SOL. Hopefully I really didn't do that. That would suck. Alright, here we go with dumbass test number 2. We're going to see if that blew the fuse for the monitor or not. And see if the monitor wants to come back up. See if it's in vertical collapse. Fuck. And now here comes the information that we've all been waiting for. Is this thing fucked, or am I still okay? So I'm going to grab the 30 volts that runs to the vertical deflection off this power resistor here. Come on. This is probably the thing that smoked. And, well, we'll see if my flyback is fucked or the diode for it or something. That's good. Okay. Whew. That is not a major catastrophe now. So this guy's our main vertical amplifier output transistor. Unfortunately, it tests more like 2 resistors, apparently. So that dude is dead. So almost a week later, I got some new shit. I got a cap kit for the actual monitor I'm going to be recapping. That's important. I didn't have that last time. I have the TIP 31C that will be replacing the vertical output transistor that I unceremoniously killed by plugging shit in backwards. And finally I got a secret box from Bunkus Productions that I wasted a bunch of electrical tape on to seal up because, you know, I don't know. Just so I could show you those stupid words. And for that, what was in the box? One big fat fucking DeHoye. And a decoder chip. Decoder ROM 4 for Stargate. So, for now, we're going to see if Stargate's going to work with this decoder ROM that I will presumably put in the right direction this time. Now I said I put it in the right direction this time. I guess I can imply that I put it in backwards the last time, but that was not me. Sneak it in here. I don't feel like pulling the whole thing out for this. Fuck. Alright, that's a bit of a clown show to get that installed. Right there. Very good. Decoder ROM 4. So, let's plug this thing in. I think the monitor is unplugged. Yeah, monitor's unplugged, so I'm not going to be burning all the line on my screen because I'm being stupid. Shit. So obviously the monitor is not going to be working right now. We're just looking for the 0 on the ROM board and the startup sound to fire. So let's turn the power on. There's our 0. The game has successfully booted. There's our noise. Here's our gameplay start. So we're blind now. Game working. So obviously the first thing to know about these things is that they're a pain in the ass to work on. And I already showed you the horizontal width adjustment coil here. I'm gonna mark one side here, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna mark this cable here, this wire, red. So I know which side's what. I'm not sure if mixing those up actually causes any issues. But, you know, I'd rather not find out. Let me clean that up first real quick. Let the, you know, cardboard ring loop-doop soak up all this shit and get all soggy, you know, how it's supposed to be. So I'm disconnecting this so I don't accidentally yank on it and break it. Because that thing is riveted to the metal cage, or the metal plate here, that's all rusty. So, up. Now that's detached, I can not have to worry about, or I don't have to worry about it. I can not have to. Got some ESL coming out from my brain or something right now. Up next is the next bullshit, this metal plate that comes out with the chassis. Even more shit for you to disassemble from our favorite serviceable chassis. Alright, put those aside, get this thing out of here. I can set it aside because we got this coil disconnected. That's one less thing hooked up to this. And of course, since the flyback is wire it up this. You gotta pay attention to that. Because, you know, why not? This is all zip tied up and shit. Let's pull this thing. I don't think we'll be able to properly pull off. Will we? What in the world? You got a tiny bolt there. You know, I'm gonna pull that one off. That's a pain in the butt. I don't think I pulled that one off in my last 60 or 4600 numbers. All right, so let's set this aside too, because I don't want to play with that right now. Let's play with this. We're gonna play with the deflection card. Nice. Recap buy sticker so I can put my name on it so the next owner can have someone to blame next time it dies. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Actually, I'll just use this video as my picture of this. The reason why is I'm gonna desolder these two after my desoldering gun heats up, so I can get to where the transistor belongs easier. So right now I'm going to try and match the pins on the transistors here. This one does not require a mica. These heat sinks are not referenced to anything on the board. They are floating, so be careful when the power's on, because this is hooked up to the collector on these transistors, so you don't want to touch those. Obviously you shouldn't be sticking your hands inside of a running monitor in the first place, but you know, people are going to do people things. So I'm going to try to do sort of match what's going on here. Not quite straight. Whatever. No biggie. So hopefully that's close enough. Alright, tip 31C. Do not fail me. I gotta have some deflection. I want to see my video game. Okay, clogger. What now? What the fuck? Okay. I see why you're not working. That's interesting. Set that back down on my plastic table so it can melt. Try again. Very nice. Oh, it's hot. That burns you before you even realize it, doesn't it? So it's out of the way so I can get to this heat sink. Made it a bit easier to get to. Alcohol's pretty good at cleaning that stuff off. Kind of just dissolves it right up. Well, it doesn't matter if it's conductive or not or anything like that. So I'm just gonna use some of this Arctic MX4. Yeah, we're high performance PC grade goo shit. I'm flinging it all over the place now. Yeah, buddy. Let's shove it in there. It's kind of funny how close that heatsink is to the collector pin on that transistor, but you know, it's all the same anyway, because you know, it's directly connected to it. Yeah, it sure is a transistor now. I mean, it was before, but now it's a different one, so it's not really touching anything else, causing problems, isn't it? I didn't murder this one, did I? Shouldn't have. Hopefully not. We'll see. Maybe it did smoke out the one that drives it. I think that might be the one that drives it, isn't it? Whatever's driving the base of this big one is coming from up here, so I don't know if I murdered something up here too. Guess we'll find out the hard way. By that I mean I'll just turn it on and see if it works. The silkscreen on these PCBs can be wrong, which is why you need to pay attention to the orientation of your capacitor when you pull it out. If it started out working that way, then it should probably go back in the same direction. What's 13? I should have caught it on video, but I was working on a G07 at the arcade I work at. The flyback kind of got a crack and it blew up. Popped the fuse. I should have took a video of me discharging the capacitor because that thing goes pop. And it scared the shit out of me because I was not expecting that much energy to be in the stupid things. But there sure was. Make sure I'm not touching anything. It's kind of cool using my phone's little 3x zoom to kind of get an eyeball on it without having to stuff my face into it. I guess it's one plus of having a camera right over here. Yep, 10 microfarads at 50 volts. They tell you not to install capacitors like that, but I do it anyway. 4.7250, this is probably this one right here, 359, yep. Negative to the right. Just what YouTube needs, another recapathon. But I will do it anyway. At least most of this shit I'm going to be fast forwarding through. So I'd like to at least attempt to respect someone's time somewhere along the way. Alright, so that's the XY board. This thing is complete. New transistor. Hopefully have deflection when we turn it on. Wouldn't that be nice? Up next is the interface, the video interface board. There's only two capacitors here. Here's a 1000 at 35. It's a big boy right here. And 470 at 35. We're going to do 201, which is 1000. Not much going on this board. You know, every time I shoot one of those off somewhere, you just never know where they go. Besides both of those, so 201, 1000 microfarad, 470 microfarad at 35, both 35 volts. Okay, so those are both good. Up next, regulator board. I'm wondering if that's a separate regulator for the audio amp section's power supply that's not populated on this board. Some of these have an audio amp still on them. My 4500 still has an audio amp. Yeah, that whole other edge connector on the main board, I think that's for the audio section, and this is also for the audio section. So there's only two capacitors on here for video. So we're at 501, which is the 10 at 250, and then 503, which is 2250. With older capacitors, always make sure that the marked side is always negative, because sometimes they can be positive. And then I'll be positive that you're going to blow shit up. Power regulator board complete. Time for the main board. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices to ergonomics for an hour-long video no one's going to watch. And then I'll have future back problems. What a great sacrifice. Oh, hello. I found my smoke source. Look at that, that's not good. That thing is not running today. I don't think I have that. You know what, I'll pull that out and check it. It probably fucking burnt in half. Oh, shit. Yeah, I've used worse. Let's see what happens. So according to the schematic, that bad boy is supposed to be at 470 ohms. Let's yank that thing out and see what it tests. It's probably deader than shit. It's probably open. There's a good chance that just desoldering this thing is going to snap the thing in half. It's not snapped in half yet. Oh yeah. Roasted and toasted. Let's see what the meter has to say about it. 470, let's go. Aye. Well, that's sure not 470 anymore. That's not good. I don't think I have any of those. Rob Bobberts. Hello, nobody there. How about over here? Safe enough. Oh, what do we have here? I think R38's our guy. Yellow, violet, brown. Let's grab it. Well, I guess that'll make for a good test point. Maybe. I don't know. This is stupid. So there is a chance that that's going to blow out again. Well, I didn't check any of the other transistors that drive the vertical main drive output transistor on here, so I didn't check these guys up here. Hopefully they're still alright. They don't look physically damaged, but neither did the original output transistor. So we'll be keeping an eye out for a resistor that turns into a light bulb when we power it up. Yeah, try not to melt this stupid plastic base plate. Alright. Alright, what am I leaning on? Get out of here, flyback. Oh, I hate this chassis so much. All these chassis have at least one bipolar capacitor on them. I wonder what that's for. It's that tilty looking one right here. So this is a funny one right here. This capacitor sits right in between the two sides of this card, so they have to tilt it over to the side to get it, you know, not in the way. So we're also going to have to do that. Looks like the silk screen is correct on that, so we can trust it. So that's where is it? $614, huh? Why are they always going to be like right here underneath this thing? Give it some of that action, huh? So I got it all done except for one. I got kind of lost my patience with the camera being in the way of this pain in the butt. And the last one, 632, which is supposed to be that, is not populated on mine. I have a spare 220 at 50. That's probably supposed to go right here at 607. No, the 10 at 250. So I have a spare 22 at 50, or 2200, or 220 at 50. But I'm missing 1000 volts at 35. So let's see what we got. These are all 1000 volts. That's 3300. Oh yeah. 35. 25. Oh. 25. Okay, cool. Well, I guess that one just doesn't need to be changed then. I don't think I have any more. Bummer. Alright, warning for people who don't want to see stupid shit. This is the old capacitor. The capacitance has gone higher. I don't know, it's whatever. It probably still works fine, but you know what? I got creative. Maybe a little bit too much so. One moment. So I might be going insane, but I made myself a 1000 microfarad 35 volt capacitor out of 3 capacitors, 2 470s and one 100. So if I shove this in here, this is fucking dumb, by the way. I apologize. Yeah, it's 1000 microfarads. Well, now that I have thoroughly offended the sensibilities of everybody on the internet who want to replace shit with the correct parts, it's time to put this thing back together. Alright, so this thing's a fucking mess. These things... Just why? Why did you do this, Wells Gardner? They just hate everybody. They hate everyone and everything. Time to slide this back on. Now we're gonna put the bottom plate back on with the horizontal coil. When soldering shit like this, they say that you should have a solid mechanical connection. I can't say that I have that. Can't say I necessarily really care either. Okay. So this clown show is ready to go back onto the tube, onto the frame. We're gonna see if it explodes. It might. Why does this have to be this way? Why did they make this thing the way they did? I mean, if you wanted to watch a video of me bitching and moaning the entire time, this is the perfect one, I think. Don't worry, I just buy the lowest quality wire nuts ever. So this thing is supposed to have a piece of plastic that holds the cards a separate length from each other. So I'm going to put some electrical tape on that guy there because it's getting awfully close. Should be relatively safe. We're going to put the shocker back on there. Get rid of the extra charge the tube accumulated because it does. These things are great at doing that. Giving you a nice little surprise afterwards. Stick this stupid thing back on there. I think that's it. No. I'm being fucking dumb again. That is not it. Look at this fancy color coding. First is red. Let's put red on first. Next is yellow. Let's put yellow on first. Next is green. Let's make sure to put green on there and not blue. Because look, right there, it says G. It says G for green. Next up is blue. Let's put that on there instead of green. Wow. The yoke is correctly connected, I do believe. Maybe this time it'll prevent me from blowing shit up like an idiot. Alright, so this is the part of the show where I plug this in and either have a capacitor explode, that resistor that you're pointed at is going to light up, or I shower myself in x-rays, or it works. So you're going to be looking at that resistor there. I got safety glasses on for in case a capacitor blows up. I don't want to damage my eyeballs. I kind of need those to look at these things after they're working. Yeah, you're going to look out for that, and I'm going to see if it powers on. Here goes the interlock and the power, and It's running. And we got a picture. Let it run for a second. Alright, so here we go again. Looking good. Looking proper. Whatever, I guess. I'm not, well, my thermal camera is dead now, so that's fantastic. But vertical fold over is gone. You just got bullshit at the top of the screen now where it's supposed to be. So that's normal. So yeah, see here. The garbage at the top of the screen is at the top of the screen now where it belongs instead of either off the edge of the screen or wrapped around into the screen. So that's perfectly normal. I'm not sure if the horizontal linearity has been changed. That had a little bit of an issue. But the game is running with the new decoder for PROM, so I think we're in pretty good shape. I might let this run for a little bit and keep an eye on it because it did have a smell of something. Something was getting a little warm. I wonder if that resistor was actually a half watt like it's supposed to be, or maybe I did get one that was too small for it. It's not lighting up like a light bulb, so it ought to be good. All the capacitors seem to be in there right, not exploding. I have my goofball 30 volt. That's the 30 volts that runs the vertical and a couple other functions. That's the filtering capacitor or the smoothing capacitor for it. So that clown car bullshit still works. Yeah. I think we have reached the point where this thing is electrically stable. No more monitor issues, no more board issues. And so all that's left is cabinet issues. So now with my, that looks purple. Why does it look purple? That's gay. Alright, so this means with the new decoder chip and the monitor fixed, I can run both of my Williams games at the same time. Very cool. So now I have two of the most obnoxious looking games. They'll blink random colors and give you seizures and shit right next to each other. Very cool. So this means that all that's left now is to work up on the cabinet here. I have to pull out all the coin doors and put new latches on them and yeah. Paint that. Sand it down, paint it. Paint black. I think we're in good shape now.